The Anvil Odin has been unveiled. We just went over it in depth. $5,000, all-father of war, gigantic amount of lasers, crazy animations, turrets, 55 people, 6,000 SCU of storage. Just an insane prospect of a ship. Now they get an hour to tell us about it. Let's see what kind of things they have to say. Is there content in mind for it? Is there... How did they come up with this thing? I don't know. I haven't watched this yet, so join me for a first.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to Star Citizen Live DefenseCon Showcase Part 2, the Anvil Odin. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee, and joining us on the show this week are members of our Steam vehicle teams that were all involved in some way, shape, or form in the creation of the new battlecruiser that we've revealed just today, the Anvil Odin. Starting to my left, you see John Crew.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Nope, that way. John Crew.
I'm John Crew.
Yeah. Hey, John Crew. That's Dan.
All right.
That's Chris.
Ew.
I don't know why you guys don't get first and last name. He just, in my head, he's always John Crew. We got Mattia. We got Mark. We got Ben.
Hello.
And now, finally, where he belongs, Alberto, tickling the ivories. All right, if you wanted the more involved intro of everybody, check out last week's show, part 1. It's where we did it. It was okay.
But they can't.
We're really sticking to that bit, huh?
There's like a lot of Italian references, isn't there?
that bit.
Oh, you can't. Well, we don't know where it cut off.
Oh, well, there we go then.
It's on Twitch. The whole thing's on Twitch, including 30 minutes where nobody could hear us and anything, because I thought it would be cool to look behind the scenes. We put a little note up there and everybody was just like, there's no audio. You try something.
You did write on the screen.
I know.
Yeah.
You try, but it just...
I know, mate.
That's right. So today we are discussing the last great concept ship of Star Citizen, the Anvil Odin battlecruiser. John, introduce us. What the heck is a battlecruiser?
So, if we're using naval parlance, a battlecruiser is a ship that has the weaponry of a battleship in a cruiser's frame, hence the name. So it has lots of punch, very close to doing glass cannon and punch above weight jokes, but I'm not going to do that, and the speed of a cruiser. So, sort of the best of both worlds in one big package.
Okay. And this is obviously a solo ship?
Yep, completely solo run. I mean, you can fly any ship with one person. It's just...
Yeah, but can you do anything with it?
You can fly around, you have some weaponry with it, but really this is you and a lot of other people to make use of it.
Who wants to do the rundown of the weaponry?
Mark?
Mark? You got your cheat sheet?
No, hang on. Hide your cheat sheet.
No. We've got a cheat sheet because
Okay,
I think the
there's
only
so
person who would be able to memorise it off the top of their head is Lee, and Lee's currently not in the country. Otherwise, he would be here and doing this. So, starting from the top, we have 2 size 12 triple ballistic cannons that are man turrets.
And for reference, what's the biggest gun on the Javelin?
It is 9s on the big remote turrets at the back.
Okay. And the railgun on the Idris is a 10.
10.
Yeah, so these are triple size 12s here.
Is there 2 of these?
Yeah.
So one on the top and one on the bottom.
Well, there's 2 triples.
Oh,
There's 2 triples.
Right. So the Bengal, the large lower turret on the Bengal that people would have seen in the squadron videos, that's size 12. So that's got 4.
Okay.
We have 3 single size 10 man turrets. So that is, instead of having dual mounts, it's a single mount. We have 8.
Wait, look how small this guy is. Sucker. Seriously, that's stupid. This gun is huge. It's too big. This isn't allowed. This gun could be shooting humans.
We have 8.
And they'd still be too small.
Once again, size 10 single ballistic cannon remote turrets. We then have 8. I know, it's still hard to get through. We have 8 size 8 double cannons that are manned, and then there is 2.
Those are size 8s. What are on the Perseus? Are those size 7? This guy's got size 5. Wait, Polaris. Turrets, size 4, size 8s. Okay, so they got 2 size 8s on there. Jesus. So you just got like a Perseus strapped to the side of the bridge?
Laser cannons, they're also piloted.
And those
And
are
those are size 8.
See, now this turret is just cool. That's just a cool... Who
Laser
doesn't like a
cannons, they're
telescoping
also
alien spaceship-looking turret thing?
And those
And
are
those are
size
size 8.
2 quadruple size
8 cannons that are manned.
So essentially, it's a size.
Wait a second.
2.
I'm guessing this is just empty space in the actual ship because the barrel just straight goes through the wall back there when it goes back.
Quadruple
Size 8
Just
cannons that are manned.
So essentially, it's a size 32.
Yeah, so I
No.
think that's just
No,
space.
it's just
how it works.
think of it more like the one on the bottom of the Bengal where it's multiple barrels. It's worth noting that the weapons for this ship, just because of the sheer size and scale and complexity of just everything to do with it, all of the weapons are specific. They're not just using our generic PU weapons. All of them are built in and designed to specifically work with each of the turrets. Because like, you can't just go down to your local shop and pick up a size 12.
Yeah. You can't go down to the local shop and pick up an Odin.
I mean,
I don't think you can go anywhere and pick up a size 12.
Like every ship that we make available through Pledge will be attainable in the game. But there's this long-standing rule that Chris and Rich have had. It's like you can't just go down to a Hertz rent-a-car and rent a battleship. You're not going to get an Idris or a Javelin or whatever. Walking into Cousin Crows. It's like this. So when this does make it into the game and stuff like this, we imagine the amount of effort involved in getting this in will be quite fierce.
You missed one.
You're quite fierce.
Yep.
well,
Yeah, you missed the other one, didn't you?
You missed.
Next line.
What's on the front of it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, we did say it had some pilot weapons. Yeah. It has a beam weapon of, yes, size. It is the entire front of the ship.
Indeterminable size.
It's a beam weapon with 12
This reminds me of the ship from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the front of this.
barrels. It's 6 on each side.
Yeah, but it does combine to one giant beam, but it's a giant beam on...
What is this? Does this ship have gills? Why is it?
Yeah, but it does combine to one giant beam, but it's a giant beam on a capital ship that's... It's a beam on a capital ship of a scale... Well, the size of the ship, as a just random jump point, is over 750 meters, and then we just have a giant beam that is the front of the ship. So...
Sick.
Yes. I mean, we can give it a size, but...
All right.
Fine. I'll also
sinks.
cover it has a significant suite of
So they are kind of gills.
PDTs, flak, and other automated defense systems. There is still hot debate about the specific number of this. It's either going to be 42 plus 1 or 43.
It's our first time
Number
seeing flak turrets.
of the
We've known that we were going to have
defense
flak
systems. There is
for quite a while, but they've never really shown us much more than a word called flak. I think this is the first time they've shown us kind of what these turrets might look like. The idea behind it's interesting. I wonder how it'll work.
still hot debate about the specific number of this. It's either going to be 42 plus 1 or 43. We had an interesting problem when we were actually doing the PDT and flak distribution across the ship. Because they were so small, you couldn't actually see them. So what we ended up having to do was make clustered banks of them, just so that they were actually readable on the exterior. And there's just so many, it meant that we had nice little defensive clusters so they could cover each other as well quite nicely.
And why do you need them to be readable on the exterior?
Well, the reason we need them to be readable on the exterior is because part of the gameplay of tackling a ship of this size, it's going to be peeling back the layers of defense. You're not just going to rock up with a couple of torpedoes shooting jobs of gun. You're going to have to take out the subcomponents, take out the shield emitters, take out the PDCs and defense before you can even begin dreaming trying to either board it or disable it.
Yeah.
So if we just had the tiny little dots distributed everywhere, people would struggle to actually be able to engage with that gameplay. And we want people to visually know, like without owning the ship, where to target.
You know what we need in this game? We need to get custom matches in Arena Commander, but like to the level of Halo Forge. Yes, I know, I'm bringing up Halo again. How cool would it be if you could make a custom game type, put it on a browser, so that other people can download this custom game site and use it? And it was literally, you put 2 Odins in space, you disable them from being piloted, you start everybody out with like a team, ships, equipment, all that stuff, and you say the goal is to board and take out the other ship. And that's just a game type. It's like Battlefront. And you could do that with everything in Star Citizen, just in Arena Commander. That and imagine they do that and then they just go and drop Arena Commander on Steam for free. It would be God damn, man. I hope they do that. That's such a cool game. There's so much creativity in the community. Y'all got good ideas. It'd be sick to be able to just make custom game types using the tools that they've given us. And they don't have to. I'm sorry, Ben, I gave you a bad scene. I gave you another bad scene. That's not Ben. I gave you 3 bad scenes. They don't have to do all the work, you know? I really hope we get some kind of like a custom game builder. You just re-downloaded Halo. Very nice. Very nice. I like it.
Be peeling back the layers of defense. You're not just going to rock up with a couple of torpedoes shooting jobs of gun. You're going to have to take out the subcomponents, take out the shield emitters, take out the PDCs and defense before you can even begin dreaming trying to either board it or disable it. So if we just had the tiny little dots distributed everywhere, people would struggle to actually be able to engage with that gameplay. And we want people to visually know, like without owning the ship, where to target.
For as powerful as this thing is going to be,
it's still kill.
It still has to be killable. It still has to be assaultable. It's going to end up being its own TSG.
I paid for invincibility. Thank you.
So
that's
we're not
Ben.
done with the weapon.
Yeah, there's one more here at the bottom.
Which one did I miss? Which one did I miss?
You're missing the torps.
I was talking, we said guns, not torpedoes.
I said weapons.
Fine. It has 20 size 12 torpedo launch tubes.
that can hold approximately. Remember, this is a concept.
40 in, so 40 queued, ready to go. 20 the actual tubes, but then you can obviously manually stock them as well. So it's however many you could fit in your hold theoretically.
And how big is the hold, John Crew?
It's 6,000 SCU in capacity. So
I think that's just a board number as well at this point.
It's a whole C and a half of cargo inside it.
Man, part of me wants to be so excited for this scale. The other part of me just wonders if the rest of the game can keep up with it. I don't want this to be a game where there's a giant Odin and then there's nothing else really sitting in that scale. I know we got the Bengal, and I'm not just talking about combat. Like, I'm talking mining, cargo hauling, and everything. They just decreased the hull series in terms of sizes. So as we expand the scale of these combat ships, I'm wondering if everything else is going to keep up or not.
So you'll be able to stop.
Or if it even needs to.
We might be able to do the math.
No.
Please don't.
All right,
I'm sure someone in chat can do that for us.
All right. So Alberto's going to cue up some of the imagery here that went out with the promotion. Again, I encourage you to check out all of the imagery and all the specific stats and everything on the dedicated webpage that went live at the same time as this video. It's going to be much higher res and whatnot than we're going to look here. But let's start with the first image that we revealed on social media earlier last week, or I guess it's like 2 weeks at the time that we showed this. So here's the first image that we released of the Odin about 2 weeks ago now, a week before DefenseCon at this point. And everybody was like, where's the weapons? Where's the weapons? We've noticed this recently. There seems to be a trend towards retractable weapons, hiding the weaponry. Am I imagining that, or is that something that's actually more common now?
Yeah, I guess a few of the more recent combat ships have had that sort of visual cue in them. I don't think it's something we're going to do for all ships. It's not it's not like a shift in kind of mentality or anything. It's just a couple of the new ships kind of all felt like it was the right decision to make. I think with the Odin particularly, there was a lot of different reference of kind of different contemporary ships that people are familiar with. And one of the things we kind of wanted to do early on was kind of just have things retracted and tucked away.
It's a pretty bold move because it's a lot more work to make all these retractable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no ifs or buts.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just such a cool moment. Like it is a moment in itself when they actually deploy and show the fangs or teeth as the ship are, as it were.
And we don't have an Anvil ship
Confirmed it has
anywhere
teeth.
near this size. No. As like the kicking off point. So it was an opportunity for like, what is Big Anvil?
Yeah.
And sort of.
What is Anvil today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as well is, you've there's two very clear different visual states when it's retracted and then when it means business. And obviously when it's retracted, you are limiting your defensive capabilities, but that's where things like the automated turrets come in. And then when it's time to party, that's when everything comes out. And a ship of this size, we could wave it away with lots of, it makes it more efficient, everything's tucked away, it makes it kind of, a little bit, more efficient to fly.
A sleeper.
But
The Odin is truly Star Citizen's biggest sleeper.
really, it was a visual decision that we made early on with the vehicle when we started kind of having those very early conversations as to what we wanted the kind of like the core visuals to be. That was one of them.
This is a lovely image. This is one of the team's favorite images here. What are we showing here?
Just a cathartic moment, I guess.
This looks like the shot from Beyond Good and Evil 2. And you don't really realize that this is the ring of a planet. Freaking sick. Really sick concept. It's like this ring has mountains. It's just crazy. But then, it never came to be a game, so. That's loud, dude.
See something. 3 o'clock starboard. It's massive. Get back here, Shani. Pull off!
It's a cool trailer, sorry. I'm hooked.
Lock down the beacon. Give it auxiliary engines. Deploy shields and bring up out now! Brace yourselves!
Oi! Oof. Nope, I would have died like 6 times.
Gods protect us.
Oh, there's your Odin, huh? Oh no! I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting so distracted. I love space stuff. Let's get back to this. It's a cool picture, but this would like really mess your ship up in Star Citizen. Let's be real.
Catharsis, Alberto.
Mine.
What are you trying to get out? What are you trying to find in your catharsis?
No, just to describe a moment of power.
Okay.
I remember when I first saw that picture, like in a meeting, I went straight to Alberto's desk and I was like, can I have that like right now?
It's a
And
cool picture,
It's
yeah.
now my desktop background because I was like, it's just so sick. I remember when you first showed it me, I came over to your desk and there was, I think you talked about it from like how it was like kind of hiding in the asteroid belt and then it would like pop out. And we talked a little bit about, in the Arctic, you see these really large ships that are like icebreaker ships, yeah, and it's just insane. That's a great picture for it.
And I think that's one of the kind of core things with the concept art as a whole is there's obviously things that we want to show to kind of really show the details of the ship and like what that.
It is a good point. Like where other ships are constantly struggling to get through asteroid fields, dodging asteroids. This thing just freaking plows through them. I think it's a nice callback, actually, to their Squadron 42 2018 trailer. Might be in the 2019 visual teaser. No, it's not this one. What trailer was that in? It was in a Squadron 42 like 2018 trailer maybe. A little callback to the asteroid bouncing off the bangle in this scene.
Recoil. Local scum use it for cover to launch.
He just explodes against the side. See, you see this one little explosion on here. Imagine if that's what was happening with this picture that they gave us for the for the Odin. Just explosions everywhere.
Functionality and loadout and everything else is, but then there's also pieces that we want to do that just set the scene and set the atmosphere and give an idea of the dream of what we're trying to achieve. So yeah, some of these pieces might be more art pieces than, I remember me and you had a big conversation about this, and it was one of the, I'm not going to say it was a heated conversation because it wasn't, but it was a there's things that we wanted to show that really put this in our universe, and then there's things that we wanted to show that were kind of like a little love letter to concept vehicles as a whole, because this being almost the end of an era with concept vehicles. A lot of work went into it, and from a kind of concept artist point of view, delivering those really cinematic shots at the end of a long period of time working on it is kind of part of the payoff.
Yeah, there's a misconception, I think, that in these concept promotions that these images are actually created by the marketing department. They're actually not. They're created by Alberto and the team that's making the ship. It's like that. So that's what you're referring to. It's explorations by the artists who are designing the ship itself to evoke a feeling and evoke a sense and try to communicate what their feelings and sense of the ship. Yeah. And yes, it wasn't heated. It was a good, solid conversation. Yeah. And I was just like,
heated
if it
talks.
hits that many rocks, it's going to explode.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it looks really cool.
If it hits that many rocks.
But like that's the concept. That's how that's how the trailers are. That's where the concept is. It's like most of the stuff they put out art-wise doesn't really reflect the game. You guys remember when they were showing off the Zeus flying at like 1,000 meters per second over Area 18?
It's going to explode, Ben.
Yeah.
But we let you do some cool stuff. This next image this is really cool, and this is Levski, right?
Yeah, this is Levski. It was the best way to communicate the scale of the thing as the diameter of the.
I feel like this is confirmation that the UEE took over Delamar.
It's 150 meters, so gives a better idea of what you could see and where when these will come out.
We thought that was such a big hole when we built it, and then we put an Odin in there. It's like,
no, it is still a big hole. Odin's just a very big ship.
I think
just a big hole with something else big in it now, huh?
Art being and like how it's like almost a love letter in some ways to all the insane work that we've seen. From like an artist perspective, and the team's grown so much over the last few years. It's these pieces of concept key art that appear on Google Images, on the YouTube videos where the backers are talking about how excited they are, and even when internally you're about to start the project and you get presented with this is the ship you're going to be making, and that's going to be your world for 5 months. That's what they're for, right? No, not that, but like, I was thinking about like specific ships in the past, like the Meteor, for example, in front of you. But the, for whatever, it could be months, and in the large ships cases, like even longer. Those moments are what like motivates you as a game developer, and it's what like, when you go into that first call with Ben and John, and they're like, okay, here's the kickoff for this. This is what it's all about. And you see the pictures, and you're like, yo, we're gonna make that. Yeah. And it's like it's so exciting.
About setting the
and
vision.
they do a damn good job too, which is why I think it's even worse when these ships come out broken. They're gonna be. Imagine if the Odin comes out broken. But these guys will be pissed. I'd be pissed about the Ironclad's release. Gomblegaff, thanks for the Prime sub, man.
Like, obviously the concept doesn't cover every single area, but it gives everyone an idea of what the vision is for this vehicle. So when you're making that decision about what do we do with this space, what do we do with this bulkhead.
That's kind of key. He just said it. The concept doesn't cover every single area. You're not buying this because of the specifics of this ship. You're buying it because of what they've named so far, which is just big guns, cool covers, an awesome bridge, and a lot of storage on board. Like, there's still plenty of specific stuff they have to figure out for this thing before it gets to the game.
We know what the intention was. So, sure, that they may not be realistic about everything that will happen in our engine, but it gets the vision and the narrative of what we want the vehicle, the identity.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. It's been so long since we've done a concept only promotion. We didn't do any last year at all. This is the only one we're doing this year, and then never again. So I like that we've finally been able to talk. Concepts are these love letters from the people who are making the ship to the thing, and I've always liked that about it, because we do some tremendous marketing art. Like, I'm gonna put our marketing art team up against any marketing art team in the world, and we're gonna win.
100%. If there's anything that these pages have proven, shown, prone, I don't know, it's that they know how to make money. Nobody believes it. People literally call it a money laundering scheme because they just keep going. Folks on Twitter, their minds are blown constantly. Well, I mean, it's Twitter. Hard not to get your mind blown there every day. They make a lot of money, and they're very good at selling spaceships. I don't think that's ever in doubt.
Our team in the world, and we're gonna win. But the nice thing about the concept art, though, is that that's not marketing. That is the people here making the ship and communicating from their perspectives.
With like the production ships, we get that from the marketing team at the end of that stage, if you know what I mean. And so we get these amazing.
They've been more open to talking about this relationship between the ship team and the marketing team over the last year or two. Wonder if they kind of feel the pressure to clear the air on that more often now.
Traders that come back, and they're almost like, that's one of my favorite parts, right? Is like handing the ship over, and we sometimes push it quite close to the wire, and we're like, here you go, sorry it's a bit late, good luck, and then we get it back, and it's like, oh yeah, like your mind gets blown, and that's really what we're trying to achieve here for our production team.
You already know the Odin trailer when the time comes, when that thing's flight ready, the Odin trailer is going to destroy everything.
Just literally, or
we're gonna upload it, and it's gonna nuke the entire playlist on YouTube.
It's just one.
This is it. Kat and her team do these wonderful things every once in a while, where they go through the events of some of the previous trailers. Like, the Odin is so big. Yep. Like, I want to see if I can convince her. Let's go back through every ship trailer, and just like the Odin was always there.
I would love to see it in like the Kraken trailer, or the what was I think it was a Scorpius trailer.
Constantly going through.
It's like, oh no, it was that wall that we were still
Yeah, do you know that white background? No, that was just one of the bulkheads.
All right, so how much any more images to look at this point?
Oh, a bunch.
Did we mention it can carry other ships inside?
Oh, there we go.
No.
Yeah. So folks have speculated on the bays to the side. Yes, these are.
So, bay-wise, it is 6 small, 2 metric small hangars, and 1 medium hangar, and that's to the actual metric ones as well. So it's not like the pads are designed for specific vehicles. It's anything that's designated for that metric.
Damn, somebody rolled this out here to hold down a rock cracker station. Could you imagine coming out to a rock cracker station just to get, like, I don't know, 2 SCU of 500 quality torite, and somebody's out here mobbing in a fucking Odin? Stop, dude.
Because people
try
have
hard.
seen the 3 side doors,
right?
And so like, oh, that's going to have some hangers, but what they won't have seen is the larger.
We'll have seen that.
Hanger.
We'll get to the larger hangar.
Wait a second. Are there guns on the tower? Can we go back to a picture of that real quick? We're at 1930. I want to go back to see the bridge. Did they show off that? I didn't realize there were guns up here. Dang.
Side, but yes, 6 side hangars, 3 on each side.
Yep.
Big enough to Hornets and stuff. Obviously.
Easily.
Cutlasses.
I think those count as small.
Oh, those are the quads. Okay.
You'll be able to fit Colossus in.
I'm not going to get my help.
And of course, that's a concept size, and we all know what happens when a concept goes to final art.
Especially in the UK.
I don't know if this gets any bigger, we're going to have trouble.
This gets any bigger.
And I think it has been like quite interesting to see because that early image and the hologram that's been Bavaria 18, people have been able to kind of make assumptions from that, but I've seen so many questions about how do the hangers work, what they're going to do, and someone's like, has it got fly-through hangers? And I'm sat there like, can't say anything, but this is getting me hyped.
So 6 ship hangers to the side, clearly with the ship repair, refuel, rearming, so like that. What else we got looking at here?
Capabilities of the vertical launch torpedoes.
Okay, so yeah, these are the 20 tubes that you mentioned here.
These are the 20 tubes just in front of the conning tower. Okay. Well, you can have a better illustration and understanding of the front laser.
It's the front laser, and that's what we're talking about, the 12 emitters on the front. Yep. 6 on each side. You just,
Very space battle.
Have you shown this to Mike Snowden yet?
Yeah.
Have we?
I don't know.
He's seen it now.
So this may be the first time Mike Snowden's seeing such a thing.
We're going to blow every budget.
No, we would have done it in the reviews. It's fine.
Okay. What else we got?
Just an explanation of the position and capabilities of the lower hangar, of the medium hangar is quite big. We're talking about 68 meters for 100 for 44, relatively in X, Y, and Z, so quite massive.
The really cool thing about the hangar arrangement on this is they're sort of interconnected, so you can fly in the rear as that ship is flying out.
Yeah, they're all part of the same environment. And
are the hangars fly through, like the smaller ones? Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is.
Well, the medium one
the medium's
well.
in the middle, and then the. The medium's in the middle, and then the.
Oh, that's definitely going to be. There's going to be racetracks that require you to fly straight through this hangar from one side of hangar through to the other. That's. Nope. Going to be able to have too much fun with that to leave that alone.
3 per side, but the whole thing is just open, and then at the back of that, there's then all the cargo, as well as then the conveyor belt up for the torpedoes to get them into the actual torpedo control room.
Yeah, so
you got a conveyor belt torpedo?
Yeah, we
or torpedo conveyor belt?
With ideas
we can't even figure out human conveyor belts in this game.
And how it could function. And one of the things that we kind of settled on and we're really excited about was having, this big kind of open expanse where you could have your kind of ships primed, ready to launch in all the hangars, but then you had enough space around them to kind of do all the operations you needed. So if you had other ships in there that were landed that were getting repaired, or you had other ships in there that were getting kind of guns or loadouts changed, or your pilots ready, you had space to do all that. And we really wanted the idea to be that you could fly in through the rear of the ship, and if you're in a big combat situation and you're like, right, recall the fighters, they weren't all scrambling to get in these tiny little hangar doors. You could load them up in through the rear of the ship, kind of get them back into their ready positions and get out of there kind of quite quickly.
So what is this? What is this room here?
So that, although it looks
it's a freaking metro, dude. What? Get out of here. I hope it's on my timer.
Higher room, what you're actually seeing there is the walkway that you saw at the top of the hangar. That's the sort of scale we're talking. And like I mentioned, at the bottom of the
so the top of the hangar walkway,
if you're in a big combat situation,
just open and then
is like this up here, walking back that way, going back around this hangar in the back there.
Actually seeing there is the walkway that you saw at the top of the hangar. That's the sort of scale we're talking. And like I mentioned, at the bottom of the hangar, there's basically a conveyor belt that connects to the torpedo control at the top. So behind what you're seeing in that image there is the cargo grid. And what you're seeing to the left there, closest to us, is an actual constantly rotating conveyor belt. So if you want to load torpedoes, you take them from the cargo grid, put them on there. They'll then make their way to the actual torpedo control room where the tube bays actually are, for them to be taken off the bay, and then loaded into the tubes to be fired. So on either side there's a constant rotating thing. So if you need more torpedoes, you can just take them straight off the grid, straight onto there, and it goes up to then be manually loaded.
Literally, it's a 2-person job just to load the torpedoes, because you got to have somebody down in that other room to put them on and somebody up here to pull them off.
We've mentioned this is a multi-crew ship. It's definitely a multi-crew ship. Like if you want this thing to be efficient, then you will need.
Can you do this by yourself? Yes, you'll get a good workout running around the ship.
Well, you'll get 20 shots out of the torpedo tubes, and that's it. Instead of as soon as it's ready to go again, because at the end of the day, as long as there's someone there feeding it, it can just keep going.
So more multi-crew roles than just sitting in a turret. Although we do have a lot of turrets.
We have a lot of people just sitting in turrets.
I remember
23.
Well, me and Alberto were
Nobody knows what you're fighting in this thing. This is not made for the game that we are even playing right now. There's no content for this yet.
them before.
Besides enemy space stations or something.
We had to keep recounting to make sure we're getting which ones were right.
It turned out we're not good at math.
No, we're terrible at it. We're absolutely atrocious when we made the damn thing. It was 15 manned, 8 remote, and that's just turrets. Not to mention all the other things people can do across the ship.
But those remote turrets still have to be operated.
So they are remote turrets. There's an entire room dedicated to that.
Yeah. So what else we got to look at here?
So what you can see here as well is in the kind of like the roof of the hangars. Yeah, you've got basically your what we see is like the ATC effectively. Yeah, you've got your control room for the hangars, and just a great overview of like not the battle stations, but everything else.
It's managing the cargo, it's managing the hangars, it's managing the doors, it's making sure that, you can go into Bay 3, you can go into Bay 7 because there's no one in it. It's away from the battle of the main ship, because their war isn't what's going on outside, it's making sure what's going on inside the ship is working correctly.
Trying to figure out how to, it's hard to make that seem worth it right now. I think there's something to be said about that making battles way more efficient, even in the current game, when you're using something like an Idris. But most people, I think, don't really want to dedicate their time to that. Most people want to just get the bare minimum amount of people into an Idris and have the pilot control all these things. And I think there's something to be said about having people who can help with logistics and organization. Thank you. Outside of the people who are actually flying the ship and shooting the guns.
It's making sure what's going on inside the ship is working correctly.
Let's go ahead and keep the images going. What else we got? You made a lot of images for this, Alberto.
So is the cargo area?
This is the cargo area that we learned was held
6,000.
6,000
plus 2,000 just for the elevator.
Yeah.
All right, so there's 6,000 on the hold, and then the elevator. If you want to leave cargo on the elevator, that's another 2,000.
Yeah, and that's a elevator that goes down and up between the medium hangar, which is at the back of the medium hangar.
Do we have an image of that? Because right now you're telling me there's an elevator that holds as much cargo as the ironclad.
The elevator is this part with the stripes.
So see the chevrons at the back? That's the elevator that goes up and down at the very back of the hangar.
Is that red light at the top? Is that the ATC thing you were talking about?
Yeah. That's the scale, right? We showed that side shot and it looked like it was an entire room. It's not.
I see. Yeah, it looks like this is where the room ends, but there's a ton of hallway space still going.
An entire room. It's literally the catwalk that you're seeing on the left and right.
And when we went into this and when we got the initial brief,
the perspective does not do this justice.
We were, it came out as we were doing an Anvil ship, and it's like, yeah, cool. And then we got the brief, and it's like, okay, this we can work with. And then through each kind of point of decision we made, we were always looking at it like, this is our kind of ultimate ship for this purpose. This is the what I would class our kind of end game.
Yeah.
And so we kind of, obviously we need to make it, obviously we need to deliver it. So there's got to be compromises in somewhere, but we did our best to kind of always kind of look at it and think, right, how do we make the best we can? And this is what we tried to do. And when we get into production, we get to see whether or not we can achieve it. But we put a lot of discussions, I think, and decisions into trying to get this thing to be really, really something that we can be proud of.
And what else do we have to look at, Alberto?
Oh, there's plenty. We have all the interiors.
We haven't even got into the comments.
We have
this is just the hangar.
Sorry.
Wait a second. There it is. There it is. This is where they took those concept images. I was wondering where those were. They're tiny compared to the rest of the ship. Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me pull up one of those pictures. I think I've got it saved on my computer here. I do not. No, I don't. All right, then. I'll pull one up for you. Do we have a Odin? Odin boy. Here, this one. This picture makes the dude look so tiny. Good Lord, why is it so hard to find? Here we go. This. One of these. I bet they took this picture straight from that, from this. But yeah, you can see it's right here. Really small. Oh my God.
You want to see the general layout of the interiors?
Yeah, I want to see everything here.
So this was the area we just seen. Here is situated the cargo. Here is the part of the elevator, and this one is the medium hangar. This is the setup for the side small
hangars.
Okay, so the pictures that they've been taking are from here, looking this way. So this is like the main portion of the ship, kind of, in terms of space.
Here there is the conveyor belt you have seen earlier, and just above there is the loading room for the launching tubes. From here is where you will take the conveyor belt missiles and load them into the pipes. Here is your favorite room. Remember that one?
Is the one we showed in...
This was on the weekly newsletter a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. This one is the actual size of the turret when it's collapsed in itself. And
oh my God, dude. Holy shit. That's insane. I find myself thinking I'm so powerful. Look at this gigantic block of steel I'm driving down the street whenever I'm in my car. I couldn't even imagine controlling a gun this size. This is bigger than my whole destiny. Jeez, dude.
we have enough space that we could put a gantry passing on the outside of the ship, but on the inside of the turret that effectively looked like this.
Wow.
And just to try and communicate the sense of scale with this thing, we do expect areas like this to exist where, when you look at the ship
this
full screen and it's just that kind of silhouette, you don't see
they
it.
They have to use this for game levels, mission levels and stuff.
The catwalk was the prime example there, right? We looked at an image, we thought it was an entire room, it was just the catwalk.
Yeah, my favourite scale bit on the ship is the little zigzag ladder on the
side of the staircase.
On the side of the conning tower.
All right, let's talk about the conning tower. I mean, we'll get to the base. Oh, okay, well, let's be disciplined here. Let's continue into the main hall before we go to the conning tower. What else are we looking at here?
We got my train, my lovely train.
Your train?
We have a train system that connects the most important parts of the ship to the most remote manned turrets.
So similar to the Bengal, realistically, getting around the ship is going to be a huge task. It is an absolutely massive ship. So it has its own tram system, whatever you want to use the specific word for, that runs constantly throughout. It's not like the lifts where you press a button, because that's its own thing. Somewhere else where there's the lifts to get up and down, there's multiple of them. But just because of the sheer size, we had to set up something to get you around. So there is multiple trains running in a constant loop so that people can navigate the ship.
Will it be like how on Microtech you have like the trains?
Exactly like that. We needed.
Will it also be like on Microtech how the trains become their own spaceships? Maybe these are the command modules of the Odin. You just fly the train out and go where you want.
At scale, because the ship is colossal.
And when the tram leaves its path and takes you out in the thing, it's a escape pod function.
I beat Jared to the joke.
We'll get to the escape pods. Don't worry.
Let's hope they work. By the time this comes out, transit should be much better.
You don't understand why they have to make the ship so comically big. Nothing about the Kickstarter says that. Actually, sorry. This is the one ship I would disagree with you on. Well, I guess it doesn't say they have to be big ships, but they did actually have a battle cruiser in the Kickstarter, which is the only reason they're making this. I don't think they would have made this unless they were legally obligated to. But Yeah, I think the big ship idea, the whole thing, is really just getting into the more of that like epic space opera Eve style game. And I kind of agree. We don't really need the ships to be super freaking massive like this. But whatever, it's a hype piece, I guess.
No, there's already tremendous improvements that are in now. All right, let's go back. Oh no, we still got more in the hull here. We still got more in the main hull.
No, in the main hull, I think we are done. There is another room for the other size 12 that is on the bottom.
There's areas of the ship as well that we're not quite ready to show yet. So there's the front area that's
not assuming engineering.
Yeah,
engineering, habitation.
Still concepting.
The mess area, because obviously it is designed to be a multi-crew ship, so there is substantial crew quarters and stuff, but obviously the amount of time it took to even assemble what we have so far was substantial.
Now, I think folks who have followed the project this long know we don't concept out every single nook and cranny, every inch of the ship. You know, it's enough to get the idea across. It's enough to put the work in motion, because then when it comes time to build it, there's going to be other people who have ideas and inputs and stuff, and new thoughts, new technologies come online and stuff. So the less there's a benefit to not being super prescriptive in every single aspect of this, because it leaves us the freedom later to have better ideas. Yeah. And so this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look into the conning tower here.
There it is.
Signature element here. I know folks online are like, "Why would you create such a? Everybody knows where to attack now. Obviously, you attack at the conning tower, right?" Because well, it looks cool, so that's what armor and shields are for.
It's well protected as well.
Components are elsewhere across the ship as well.
Yep. So what is this?
This is the tactical room to study your map, to study your fleet, to collect data. And above is a quiet room.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we tried to kind of like think about when we were making this is we wanted to try and include some areas of the ship that weren't just
focused.
Yeah, just combat and functionality. We wanted to have some areas that gave the crew some freedom to relax.
Yeah. So here's our next image. What are we looking
at? This is the room where the captain and the higher ups will manage the fleet. Also thinking about...
Which is why you kind of don't need to have a tower overlooking the whole battlefield, but, we can digress.
A lot of ships have hollow globes in a room, and this sort of has many rooms that are for the hollow globe just because of the size of it.
Very tall.
Very tall.
Okay.
And don't want to focus on it too much, but we wanted to have little kind of areas of the ship where if you needed to have more private conversations, you needed to, there was areas that were away from like the main thoroughfare that would allow for kind of planning and discussions and
like mutinies and stuff like that. And just
I'm not saying planning mutiny.
Not.
Yeah, what are you trying to say, Dan?
It's not Drake.
And then inside the big turret. So is this actually the seat that controls the turret?
Yeah, that goes up into the turret.
So you enter this room full of death, and then you get in, and then you get pulled up to dispense such death.
Correct.
Okay.
And you go back down, and there are no bullets left.
To have at your disposal.
This is okay. So the scale of this turret alone. This is the. All right. I ran out of words.
It's all right.
All right. What else? What else we got?
We have a parliament.
Oh, you can.
Of course, we have a parliament.
Bro, this looks evil to me. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't look like... I guess this is a warship.
And what's a parliament?
So I thought that since you're driving destroyers of wars, you should be able to dispense.
Whoops. Sorry.
It democratically or not. But in some ways, you should be able to communicate your crew what the plan is.
This is the equivalent of our briefing room, but taken to the next level.
Okay.
It's a bit more lyrical, I guess.
Even the briefing room in the Idris is kind of...
It's going to be crewed by a huge group of people. And obviously, people aren't required to be there, because at the end of the day, it's a game, people having fun. But it gives orgs and groups a location to meet and gather and discuss what they plan.
I'm proud of y'all in chat calling out the UEE as evil. Good job.
It's safe to say this is an orc ship.
Say it with your chest.
This is a ship you leave and you don't come back for a while.
Well, you take your ships to this ship to then go off and play the game.
Okay, and the bridge here. So we got a couple images of the bridge, I would say.
So front and center, obviously commanding officer, captain, owner, it's the person in charge. Off to one side, they have their head of security. So they'll obviously a ship of this size, someone needs to be in charge of just making sure the inside of the ship is running the way it's meant to be.
I know the
And to that
UEE
side
is evil, but they also still try to look good. Like, look at the rest of the stuff that they've done and the rest of the ways we've seen the UEE even in Squadron 42's gameplay. The ships don't really look like this. Like, this has a different vibe to it that's definitely a lot more draconian, authoritarian kind of looking than what they usually show the UEE. So it's a different slant. Interesting one.
Obviously, it's an XO takeover when the person who owns the ship or commands the ship needs to go off and do something else.
Okay.
In addition to that, there's a cool little feature that we added to the actual commanding officer's dome. Do we have a picture of it? The
video?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go to video? Let's go to video.
Yeah, let's go to video. So if you need to have private, confidential conversations, just like
tangerine
how in real
privacy.
life, you'd have proper meeting rooms for it. The captain has a way to actually generate one themselves on the bridge to have that conversation.
It'll be so funny when the audio still bugs through that wall. It doesn't change anything.
Away from everyone. To then, well, it's.
Or I just
it's a
have my
reflection of
conversation on
those
Discord.
times where John asked me to come into his office and close the door behind me.
So you've literally.
It's definitely like a flavor kind of thing. This is RP. This is flavor. This is them having fun making something that's like cool and you can play around with it. I think everybody has a different level of allowance when it comes to things that don't affect gameplay but are still added to the game. So some people are probably going to really hate this ship, but it certainly gives people a lot of opportunities to live out their space military fantasy.
Made the 1960s Get Smart Cone of Silence.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
And the idea is you know, if you are captain of this vessel and you need to have a very confidential conversation, but you are in the middle of a battlefield, you need to have them there and then. You need to be able to make that decision, have that conversation, and get on with it.
So this is for all the remote turrets. So obviously, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of remote turrets on the ship. So there's an entire area. Basically, it's not a bridge per se, but it's a control center for all the different remote turrets across the ship. It needs it. The scale is, we can't just shove them in the bridge. They need somewhere dedicated. So they'd have their own priorities and conversations.
I appreciate you don't make them run to every corner of the ship.
Exactly. Well, we've got a train for that, so they don't need to run.
There's so many opportunities with like a dedicated room like this, like for artists to come up with like new fun ways of like expressing stuff. So like something that jumps out to me is like, you know, if you've got all those people
This looks like such a hazard. I would find a way to fall down there or get a leg stuck or something.
down in their remote turrets, like having some kind of just like an indicator light saying that the seat is occupied, like a little green light above it. So if you're like the boss and you're walking in, you're like overseeing all the remote turrets, you just see green all around. It's like, all right, my crew's ready to go.
Yeah, well, one of the features that needs further development is the communication between the turrets and the command and control and stuff. Like I'm sure somebody saw the command and control room earlier and it's like, well, what's that for? And it's like, eventually, you know, someone will be there able to feed targets to all these people and, you know, and control UI elements for everybody that's in there. And, you know, shows like, no, show here. Your guy is over here. You need to look here. You need to go here. It's like, you know, the four of you are on this guy. The four of you are on this guy. Something like this is essential to something like the Odin. So having all of those guys in one area, and then having a command and control that can communicate with them. You know, imagine one of the guys goes down or something. You know, armor piercing round, or the guy forgot to hydrate or something. And you know, wasn't paying attention, dies in his chair. You know, somebody can get out and run to the other turrets. Like, no, they're on this side and stuff. The abilities for coordination within the Odin are just immense. Like, I would say, not even the ability of coordination, the raw necessity of coordination necessary for this ship. I mean, this is not the ship that you buy. Yes, technically, you get in the pilot seat, you can fly this giant spear around the universe, but the full potential of this thing requires just a massive amount of coordination.
Yeah, this is also how are we gonna deal with the gameplay.
I like how they gave people the ability to get all ready to spend $5K on the ship before saying that kind of stuff. Not to say anybody should have not been expecting that, getting ready to buy the Odin, but it's a lot of caveats there.
With the ship, right? So we want to let you achieve the full power and let you, undergo all your combat operation and potentially doing so, but just with the crew, because otherwise, yes, you have a pilot-controlled weapon, but what are you gonna do if most of your armament is not gonna be coming to play into battle, right? So.
And what is the crew of this thing? The expected crew?
The cheat sheet here.
33.
Yeah.
33.
33
So
really is
that's bare bones.
Yeah.
That's bare bones. Yes.
How many operator turrets was there?
We're talking bare bones, not even working at full efficiency. That's not even saying there's anyone feeding the torpedoes. That's just to man the operator seats. That's the sort of numbers you're talking.
I feel like when it comes time to balance a ship like this, that's probably the biggest thing. If you can get 33 people together, if you can coordinate 33 people together, it's like you deserve to just be, the Norse god of everything.
Well, it's like whenever
You know what we
have
need
a
to do
large
that?
group of people playing games together.
Come on,
there
chat,
needs to be
you know.
someone who
What do we need to be able to effectively get 33 people coordinated together in Star Citizen? Come on. I know you guys know it. We've been asking. We were waiting.
is doing a little bit less of the interaction, but managing
Love you
everyone,
guys.
actually getting them all to coordinate. It's like anyone that's ever done raid leading in any sort of MMO. That person absolutely isn't outputting the highest DPS in the group, but they're taking a step back and watching everyone while
Literally
doing
made the
it.
40-man raid spaceship.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to reference was that is the 40-man raid experience, but it's you with your org, your friends, going out and having that gameplay for an evening and having your cap ship to run for.
Yeah, and the best part is also, you have different specialities, right? Because you need fighter pilots, then you need turret gunners, then you need engineering, then you need the guys that actually coordinate the entire crew, and probably more than one guy at that point, because it's going to be very difficult. So
raid leading's a really unique skill. Whenever you play MMOs, there's only ever a handful of people that are even willing to do it.
Yeah.
And they choose to do it because they enjoy doing it. Yeah. But it's a very unique set of sub-skills. If anyone who is a raid leader or has ever been in a raid will understand just how different it is as a way to play the game.
It's like an epitome of sandbox kind of emergent gameplay, really. It's like a role that doesn't necessarily get put in by the game design teams, but it has to exist.
Yeah, you don't create your character.
Yeah, you don't.
Like raid leader is your class.
And what else do we have to look at?
We close with a fire shot of everything opening up.
So yeah, this is a
moment. It just is.
When you see that, it's time to run.
Well, at that point, you're like,
no. When you see that, it's time to die.
If you're not ready to quantum travel, it's too late.
Yeah. No, it's a.
That's a shame when you got that close to look at this.
Only if it lets you.
No, it's a heck of a good-looking ship. I mean, it was interesting to see the reaction online when the first teaser image went out. It's the first image went out on social on social in the morning, UK time, and then the first shot of the interior went out in the afternoon, and then the 3D hologram version with the weapon. So it was fun for a nice little 24-hour period to watch the perspective of the ship change. There are some people who absolutely hate this thing, and some people who are like, "This is the most beautiful ship I've ever seen." Those are people with eyes.
Hashtag not biased.
But it is. Let's talk about the inspirations for this thing on the exterior. What are we thinking when we build this?
So we wanted to convey that this was inspired by a battleship. Sadly, in sci-fi, there are other ships inspired by battleships, so we had to differentiate from these ones and not going into the steampunk or World War II aesthetics. We initially tried to group all the guns in the center like you would do in World War II, like on the USS Iowa comes to mind, a famous Japanese one that I will not mention. Instead, with the fact that they all have to operate in a video game, they don't have to compenetrate, we started spreading them, and that aesthetic would no longer be supported. So we decided to look actually at the Zumwalt class, at the literate combat ships from the US, at the Visby class from Sweden, all the more modern stealth ships, and yet retain the conning tower aesthetic that there was in World War II ships and that got lost after then. But we want to hint at that word with a little bit of new.
Well, this has been an amazing look here. Let's go ahead and take a few minutes now at the end here and jump into, now this is an engine. This is you work in what, Blender?
Yes, this is Blender. This is Brown actually, but.
So we're gonna let's take a look at the actual concept model now. Some folks have already extracted the concept mesh from the hologram as they do, but this is the actual legitimate one.
Yeah, and just a note on that hologram mesh. It is a optimized isn't the correct term. It is
it's reduced.
It is a reduced version of what we're seeing here. When Alberto kind of handed this over, I mean this thing's sat at 37 million polygons. That's not something we can just put in game. So yeah, there was a lot of decisions made to just kind of like just strip out a lot of that stuff to get it to run above Area 18. And also it was a hologram. It wasn't supposed to be a concept. This is the real deal.
All right, so let's get closer here. Let's take a look. What do we want to look at this point? We've just seen a whole bunch of images and and some videos here. But what can we look at here that we would like to get real close?
How about this?
Like, the laser beam, yeah.
like what is this used for? How does this change the radar capabilities of this ship? Why is it up there? I would love to know if they have actual plans for that.
Let's start with the laser beam.
When the laser beam activates, these side pieces that were not in the hologram model will open up, and they are part of the laser beam in order to become part of the target. Ideally, they are the radiators of the laser beam itself.
I like how the wiring for the lasers is on the outside of the ship. Could you imagine having something so important and not routing it through the actual protected area? Just having it able to be shot off here.
Something so massive, we need justification for why it doesn't just overheat. In addition, it adds a targetable aspect of the actual laser beam, because if you obviously once you start peeling back the defenses, it gives it a nice area to be targeted to try and knock that out.
Shoot it in the gills.
I imagine if you're targeting the ship, you're going to want.
Now that's a cool view. I love the symmetry of that. I love this shot. This is a really cool view of the ship. I would like this for a concept. I'd get that printed. That's cool.
Knock the beam out.
Yeah. Is that the first thing you target?
Ship, you're going to want to knock the beam out.
Yeah, that right there. This, but like in a more conceptual atmosphere would look really cool.
Yeah. Is that the first thing you target? Is that the first thing you take out, the beam? I mean, or do you just not get in front of it?
I mean, depends what you're in.
Fair, that's fair.
If you're in something small, just stay away from the front.
Yeah, I do feel like the first tactic in fighting an Odin is don't be in front of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or behind it, or beside it.
Or the big guns above it, the big guns below it.
Yeah, can you jump into
the same server as it is
docking collar area and the little
Yep.
walkways that you've got?
Oh, we haven't looked at the staircase.
We can walk around it, right?
Right, so it does have a docking collar.
What?
Yeah, so it's got a docking collar, and then also there's.
Is that the docking collar?
But we added some
it's actually pretty big.
kind of like walkways and channels that you could walk through. Yeah.
Oh my god, the sense of scale.
Wait, this okay. Now this makes me want to see them redesign the 890 jump into a proper cruise ship. Because now I want to see like a more civilian focused ship like this with like walkways around the outside. You ever been on a cruise ship? A lot of the big ones have a running track around the outside, and it's just like the best exercise ever. You wake up, boat's at sea, sun's coming up, You just run around with the sea breeze and you're like looking out at the sea. That would be sick if they had ships like that. Obviously, you can't do that in space. That would hurt. But the 890 jump should have some kind of cool stuff like that on the outside.
Kind of like walkways and channels that you could walk through.
Or maybe the Genesis Starliner.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
They make
the
it bigger?
sense of scale.
Hang on, who's that?
So when Lee was trying to sort the navigation for the ship, we didn't want it to be too simplifying. We want people to be able to go onto the actual exterior, but at the same time, we didn't want loads of issues with the grids and the physics issues that we sometimes encounter. So we ended up trenching all of the exterior walkways behind mesh, but it's great in mesh, so you'll still be exposed to the elements, but you don't have to worry about debris or stray shots hitting you. But it meant that we had this, to be blunt, an entire level's worth of navigation that the designer who primarily did a lot of the layout for the Floor Lee.
So you're going to be walking around the exterior of this.
Well, you've got to.
I'd be so proud of this if I designed it. Even if it's just concept going into a video game or something. This is a lot of different things to put together and make sense.
Because just to maintain some of it,
even if it has some issues,
do a lot of the repairs.
Well done.
There's alternate routes for when the power goes down on the inside, like the staircase on the conning tower, and obviously it's a full staircase, so you get some sort of idea of just the scale of it. The first time I saw that, I immediately thought of the Midgar Tower in Final Fantasy VII, when you have the choice to either run up the giant staircase or go up the lift.
Wow. What else can we look at?
I really looked at the engines on the back of it in any of the shots there.
That is
very big.
All right, we'll do the engines next. What are we looking at here, Alberto?
at the protection for the bridge.
Okay.
Shields!
There's something about that I actually quite like.
All right, we'll do the engines next. What are we looking at here, Alberto?
I feel like... All right, this is going to be way out of left field.
Protection for...
But this gives me... Chronicles of Riddick. But not Pitch Black. It was the other one. This gives me... God, what movie was that? Hold on, I gotta look it up. The one where he fights with Carl Urban. And Carl is this guy, right? Isn't that Carl Urban? Yeah. Yeah, it was literally Chronicles of Riddick, not Pitch Black. It looks kind of like the technology that they had in that. I don't know why. Something in that movie makes me think back to this kind of design. It's weird. Triple X. Yeah, dude, the Triple X with, what was that? LL Cool J? Ice Cube? The Necromongers, huh? Yeah. I don't know why, but I just really get that vibe from this. It's so weird how many different things this ship reminds me of.
Oh, shields! Of course, the bridge is armoured. That was so cool.
We wouldn't just leave an unarmoured.
Love a blast shield.
All right, so you've got like the Carrack made by Anvil, nice little brand carryover here. So you've got the shielded conning tower. One assumes you don't go blind when you close it.
No.
Okay. And then a little Star Destroyer influence here with the radar globe.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the top of every contemporary ship.
Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer.
It has to be the Star Destroyer.
Inside here there is your parliament, so there's a quite nice
Looks like, is this another docking? Or is this a turret right here?
call to the circular motif of Anvil.
You've got the escape pods here as well.
Yeah.
Those
we haven't
escape
talked about
pods.
the lifeboats.
Yeah,
the lifeboats. A bit more than a typical escape pod.
Yeah. Just for the sheer volume of the ship, we couldn't really just have tiny little pods, so that they have entire rafts and they're scattered throughout the entire ship. The ones on the conning tower are the most visible because we didn't want to fully embed them, just because we will have had to increase the size of the conning tower even more.
Right.
So obviously if somehow someone manages to peel back in millions later...
See, the beauty of this game, for all of the annoyance that I get with the way that they do certain things, the beauty of this game is that it all has to be actually realized in first person. These ships are really cool, and there are a ton of games where I've seen cool ships like this. I keep likening this specific ship model to a lot of the ships we see in Falling Frontier. But a lot of ships in other games, you just don't have to have somebody literally. You don't have to route a hallway around this escape pod because you needed somewhere to put a lifeboat, and you put it here. You made this nice little cutout for it, but a lot of times you don't have to think about what that ruins on the inside, how that's going to affect the Parliament, how that Parliament getting moved over affects the hallways here, how that getting moved means you need to make sure that the turret can come all the way back here. And like designing all that to work is really impressive. I think it's the best thing they've figured out with this game for sure.
Is defense, and you need to escape. There's plenty of rafts there.
Yeah, so there are lifeboats in the tower. There are lifeboats in the main hull.
Yeah, they're just below here.
Yeah. So so if somebody does manage to take one of these down, one would assume.
Are these just freaking broadside cannons? Do these even aim, or do they just fire straight out from the ship? Because that's all. Did they talk about that? That's also kind of crazy.
Yeah, they have limited control, but they're essentially like tiny little habitable environments.
The Starfarers inside is messed up because they got better over time. They sucked at this before. Okay, I'll tell you that much. And a lot of the ships that come out still don't make the most logical sense. But find me another company that does more.
Let's take a look at the engines. Oh, you want to show you want to show the underside of the gun? It's cool. Let's see the underside of the gun.
Alberto, would you be able to go into like walk-in mode in Blender and like show the scale of it from the catwalk? Blender has this really cool mode that allows you to like walk around, so we can really appreciate how big it is.
Jesus.
I don't think anyone until they actually
this is
get
a whole
it into
level.
game will ever understand just how big it is.
This ship looks like it's the same size as the Shadow Broker's lair in Mass Effect 2.
It's absolutely ludicrous.
Like, this is a full-on level on its own.
On the gun. This is just the walkway next to the gun.
This explains why we needed a train.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like that gun is the size of a Carrack.
It is 1/3 of the Polaris, I think.
The gun is 1/3 the length of a Polaris.
Or maybe a half.
Polaris is about 160 meters, so call it 80 meters.
Yeah, it's not far off a Carrack in size.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Sorry, engines.
Yeah, let's look at those. Let's look at the engines.
So there are a bunch of engines.
As you would need, because that's the cruiser element of this.
Yeah.
It's also partially gameplay. It's so that obviously if there's just one engine, you take it out, but it means that you have multiple that you have to disable to try and stop the ship moving.
Oh, wow.
That would be a good...
These look so Carrack and Terrapin in their style, these little fins on the side.
Tactic, if you want to try and actually disable one of these, first of all immobilize it, then you can gradually work on individual areas to try and get into whatever state you want, whether it be destroying or boarding.
Can we go inside the main hangar there?
I have to open another file. But
Open another file, okay.
just to point out the engines, we have this one, obviously the central one and the side ones, but there are also on these little winglets on the bottom and on the conning tower.
Oh.
There's an engine on the conning tower?
Little ones to avoid, the tower to be dragged away by inertia. To distribute better these forces.
Amazing.
Okay, let me find the other.
I thought you were going to tell me the conning tower detached.
No. It's actually a parasite. And
No.
Okay.
Slap the brick command
That
module
reaction.
Oh my god! Did you hear Ben?
And the other.
I thought you were going to tell me the conning tower detached.
No.
It's actually a parasite. And
No.
Dude, oh my gosh. If ever there was a tell.
Okay.
Slap the brick command
That
module on it.
reaction means he thought about it. That reaction means it came up at some point.
We had that conversation maybe about a different ship earlier today.
How interested are you in public transport when anything like that?
I don't think Ben likes the command module.
Need a rail card when you board this ship.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stops.
6 stops.
Okay.
Wait, the tram has 6 stops?
Yeah.
What are the 6 stops of the tram?
So you have obviously your 2 foyer entrances for the docking collars.
Obviously.
You have your very front man turret.
Okay.
I like how we just passed on from that. I want to hear more about that, man.
You have the underside man turret.
Okay.
And then you have the 2 man turrets at the back. And they also put you next to the main elevator thoroughfare.
Yeah, and that's before you've done all the habitation
I was
and
going to
stuff
say,
like that.
I think
so
we might have
that's 6 stops
mate,
right
I'm
now.
not, I'm not
That's
convinced
6
it's going to
stops
stay at
right
6.
now.
Yeah.
Mattia had to go. He had to catch a train. We've been here for a while. If you ever notice, this is the longest BTS we've ever, or anything on a single ship we've ever done. So he unfortunately had a train to catch. Not this one, a real one. But so now we're going to jump inside the hangar area. Where are we?
This is a lift that you can see here, this opening on the left.
Yeah, so the right's your cargo hold. So directly behind is the 6,000 SCU. That is the lift that connects to the medium hangar, and that's 2,000 SCU. To the left and right-hand side are the catwalks that take you to the small hangars. So if we just spin round.
Oh, I felt out. Sorry.
All right. So how many box missions can you do with the Odin?
Yeah. At least 3.
All of them.
So directly behind.
0 to hero.
So there's the metro stop for the actual trains. So that's obviously it's mirrored on both sides of the hangar because it might be quicker to get the train round, but not.
Crazy idea. What do you guys think is the chance they allow us to have metros when we do base building? You think they're going to make us drive around in our own ground vehicles? I guess they can't really sell metros, huh? You can sell ground vehicles to get around. Never mind. Figured it out myself. Where's the store potential?
100% sure yet.
Wait, the hangar is so big that it might the tram runs around the hangar. It might technically be faster to take the train around the hangar than it is to walk from one end to the other.
It depends how many stops we end up with. At the minute, we're looking at about 6, but more might be added as we evolve the other spaces inside of it.
Yeah, one of the main stops is also the center of the conning tower, so you would have the elevator to bring you to most of the living room, the living spaces.
And when you get to the center of the conning tower, it's elevator.
Well, elevators.
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah, because of the fact that we, obviously, when there's only one elevator,
definitely going to need a transport refactor.
Idris, where people are waiting.
I thought this was already the most deadly ship ever designed, but now, with multiple elevators,
oh yeah,
I can safely say the most deadliest ship ever designed.
Do you go back to where the smaller hangars were? Sorry about that.
Remember that these are concept mesh, folks, so none of these are textured, materialed.
So this is the metric small hangar, and what we were talking about earlier, where just behind that you've got this additional space to kind of that's all kind of chevroned off here as your kind of like ready area. You've got the like the blast shields that would rotate up when vehicles need to move around within that space.
There's also it's for the actual flight crew to do resupply and changeover. So
I was going to say, there's not really a ton of space to resupply ships unless that hangar bay is wider than it looks.
Decide you want to swap for ballistics instead of energy or vice versa, you can take them off the cargo bridge, bring them
I guess it's pretty wide actually for a small ship.
Down so they're ready to swap out on the ships as they come in to restock. So if it's not just rearming but actually changing loadouts, you got plenty of space.
Not like
for the
they're
crew
loading
to get
cargo.
ready for the, imagine like a pit from a Formula One.
Or just stack more ships, which is what
most people
are going to do.
Which we were very conscious of.
Have we at any point tried to work out how many pit bulls we could fit in this?
I'm sure there'll be a Reddit post. Run the numbers, guys.
If there's not a Reddit post by the end of the day, I'll be very disappointed that no one's done the math.
That is.
I await your link.
I mean, that is crazy when you think about how many Furies, how many pit bulls you could conceivably put into this. Yeah.
This is the scale of our game in one ship, right? So yeah, you think about do you remember the old People to Planet video we did? This is like the ship's team's nod.
Yeah.
Back to that.
Well, how big was Port Olisar?
Invoking Port Olisar's name, man.
Yeah.
Of the actual space, that not just the the actual
the actual habitable space.
Yeah. I would suspect this is probably bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. This is actually more habitable space than Port Olisar had. Well, okay. Anything more? Anything before we leave? We've shown. Don't give me that look. Alberto's like, I've got so much more to show.
Let's go back and talk about the command module.
You can show 2 more things, Alberto. What do you want to show?
I've shown everything, to be fair.
Show them, Bram.
What's your Favorite image?
What's your favorite aspect of the ship, Alberto?
My favorite image, that's a good question.
I'm not going to judge you.
It's the Parliament?
Wait.
Your favorite's the Parliament?
Wait.
It is. Oh, I know why it's the Parliament.
Oh,
I know exactly
there
why
he
it's
is.
the Parliament.
Oh,
there he is.
there you go.
That's why it's his favourite.
Yep.
Is there a dog?
Hidden your dog.
Yeah,
Of course.
all
He
comes
doesn't
back
come
to
with
that.
every Odin, just to be clear.
Oh,
Not
no.
Comes with everything else.
A dog on the Odin, dude. I don't...
So, of course,
Poor dog.
the Odin for this first promotion that's launched today. 5 unique paints that are exclusive to this promotion.
I genuinely thought he was about to say 5 unique pets. I thought he was about to announce pets right now. Then again, that would have been spoiled for me already. Give us pets! I want a puppy! Come on now.
Yeah.
So if you manage to pick up an Odin as part of the Odin Founders Club during
How
this
cool would that be? Oh yeah, we're talking about the Odin today, but the real thing to stick around for, the real news is pets are coming. You get a puppy, a space pup, a freaking space fish.
promotion at DefenseCon 2956, those 5 paints come with it, free of charge. They will never be made available in any other promotion. It's our way of saying, thank you for being there and supporting this massive undertaking from the get-go. Any last words?
Let's be real though, there will be
anybody
other
wants
paints
to
for
say
the
about
ship.
the Odin other than it's really, really big and it's going to take a lot of people to run it?
Pets were a stretch goal.
Make it.
Yeah, make
We
it.
deserve pets.
It's going to take a lot of people to make it too.
I think over the development and when we took a peer behind the curtain at or walked over to Alberto's desk, there is this sense amongst the team that this is going to be something pretty immense and seismic, literally. I'm looking forward to seeing which team creates it and how, because we're going to have to do a lot. I think Ben made a good point where he was our teams from in the last few years has been, it's so much larger and it's so much more educated that it feels like we're in a position where we can tackle these problems now and we can really start to, we always try and push the envelope but really see what can we actually really do.
I can promise you, hand on heart, Dan, that the Odin is going to generate more than we could have ever imagined.
Are you talking about money or what?
Problems.
Problems, Joe, problems.
Problems.
God.
Wake up the Anvil team.
John, what do you think you've been doing the last few years?
The positive thing is that I will be drawing all the concepts and I don't have to care about the part.
You still got a lot. You still got a lot more to
Money,
do. There's
huh?
still plenty of
Yeah,
areas.
we got the two concept cheat sheet.
left to do. So we've got. Oh, you do have a cheat. So we've seen the hold, the torpedo launching room, the ammo rooms for the size 12, the map room, the contemplation room. Lots to contemplate. The turret's control
that what
room,
you call
the
the turret
conference
room?
hall, and the bridge. We have unfinished concepts, things that we're not showing you right now for the hospital,
Yep.
for the morgue,
Yep.
for the engineering
morgue?
that we mentioned, habitations, and the executive briefing room.
What do you need a
so
morgue
those are
for?
all in progress right now. They're not quite ready to show.
Wait, what do you need a morgue for? We can't even keep bodies from unspawning. Come on.
Things still left to concept.
Subject to change.
Subject to change. Work's not done yet. Navigation engineering. How is that different than? Oh, the second. There's the engine engineering, then there's navigation engineering. Okay. The train stations themselves, the executive quarters, an armory, additional crew quarters, the self-sustaining
Cantina?
cantina. What?
Question mark?
What is the self-sustaining cantina? What do you mean self-sustaining? What does that mean?
It recycles your
there a
pee
farm lab?
into
Was your
more
idea?
drinks.
That was me.
What? Are you on about a grow room again?
And I loved it.
We're bringing back the
Subject to change.
Subject to change.
Subject to change.
Mixmaster.
I don't remember writing it, but I'll
Mixmaster lives.
Yeah.
It absolutely will have a mess hall. It may not have a self-sustaining
Look,
mess hall.
all the other things he named make sense. Okay, cantina, we actually have food and drink system, right? A hospital, we have a respawn system. Turrets, you shoot at things, that makes sense. A hangar, ships, cargo bay, we do carry restocks for ammo, cargo, all that stuff. A briefing room, you can at least sit down and talk there. It's an RP kind of a place, but it's, I can see that being a thing. But a morgue is Why are we storing dead bodies? What? It's not even. We're not even going to be at item recovery tier 0 when you can't get the stuff off the dead bodies, so you don't have to bring it back. It's just there. That's funny.
Basically, we wanted a
Greenhouse.
greenhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, a greenhouse.
Grow space. A gym.
Even a greenhouse makes more sense. You can grow stuff in this game. Farming is going to be gameplay.
A gym, a rec room, a panic room.
Oh,
Question mark. I don't know.
That's next to the contemplation room.
that's whenever a new patch is coming
It's the
out.
same thing.
It's the same thing, but one's on fire.
Yeah, turn the panic, right contemplation.
It's just a button that changes the effect in the room.
A crafting room, because obviously a ship this size is kind of a crafting room, and then a running track. Well, that's just the exterior, man. You just run around the entire.
It's like
exterior.
I said.
No, that's a marathon.
There is a path
Except I was thinking that'd be on a cruise ship, not a military battle cruiser.
in the train tracks
Yeah.
that will allow you to run all of it in case running is
You just
your,
got to run the same
is your
speed as
favorite
the
thing.
trains go in, otherwise you're in trouble.
Well, one would assume that through
like a job.
engineering, if you're really fighting for power, you could draw power away. You know, the tram stops working. You know, you need that power somewhere else, and you still need to be able to get around on foot. So, all right, and that's who knows what we're going to add between.
I mean, that doesn't cover stuff like the multiple lifts or
How many 100 bathrooms we're going
How many mavs it's got?
Oh yeah,
how
how
many
many
taps?
bathrooms?
Two.
Just two
and
taps.
one.
Two on the entire
It's got
ship.
2 taps every bathroom.
750 meters away from
That's a
each other.
promise.
It's a promise.
Taps in every bathroom.
That's the 2-tap promise.
So that's a lot about the Anvil Odin, Star Citizen's final concept ship and its largest. Available right now on robertspaceindustries.com exclusively to members of the Odin's Founders Club. Those are folks who took the time and effort to submit their stories about why.
To which I have not been able to personally confirm anything, but like I was talking with Grolo on the podcast this weekend, and he said he had people in his community who put full-on effort into that, sent stuff in, got denied. He knows other people in his community who sent in jokes, got the chance to buy the ship. So I don't know what the heck they're doing with this.
Coordination and cooperation was so important to them in the Star Citizen experience. It's a big. I think it's a hallmark. Star Citizen is replete with a number of hallmark moments. 4.8, the launch of tactical strike groups, and the biggest step towards coordinated ship-bound gameplay and combat that we've had, and then of course this, putting a nice little marker in the ground for the future and being like, this is where we're going, and the kind of gameplay that this creates, and the kind of gameplay necessary to deal with it. And stuff. It's a clear calling our shot to the evolution of space ship and space combat gameplay in the future. So it's an exciting thing to work towards. John.
No, come on.
Done, mate.
It's been a long day, Emmett.
We've been what you need is Alberto sat next to you again.
I was going to say, where's Alberto?
Alberto, where are you? Needed you.
In my head, it just said, I call him Young Squire for some unknown reason. That's all my head was giving me. Who had to take off Mark, cameras, Alberto, our friends on the cameras. Here, we don't usually have cameras, but we wanted to have so many people here. You can't see them, but they're here. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, I'm sure you're paid, but thank you anyway. And of course, Seb, Lauren, Dave, Pete, behind the scenes, our big show this week. Thank you for watching.
No.
Hope you're having a lovely Defense Con. I hope you were able to get everything that you wanted. Remember, the finale comes after this.
Bro, when was this recorded? No way. There's no way this is how he's
most
closing.
of the ships, I think actually all the ships that have been available on the various days all come back. So you still got another chance at Kraken, still got another chance at Idrises, at Javelins, and of course the Odin Waves right now for those in the Founders Club. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting Star Citizen all these years. We still got a lot coming the rest of this year. And if I already look at the ship schedule for 2027 already, there's a lot more spaceships to come. So thanks for watching.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, hold the phone. This is part 2. So it was filmed, excuse me, right after this one, right? When was this filmed?
Hi, YouTube. Jared here. You're watching the recorded version of the live stream that happened on Twitch just a couple hours ago.
Okay, so this would have been on May 15th. So, okay. I'll give them that. Closing, there wasn't really as much of an expectation to close with a message on the 15th. If this had been recorded in the last like 4 days, I would have been livid if this is how they closed it. Saying things like, I hope you got everything that you wanted, when people aren't even getting access to the things they've spent money on in the store. It's very bad. And I'm hoping that like they really need to put out a statement, dude. Because most people are not going to know that this was recorded at the beginning of the event. The event has not gone well. There's plenty that is working, but there's also plenty that's not working, including people getting the stuff they spent money on, which is not great. There are problems with the ironclad, which are pretty bad, which you could even see in this video. Ben's reaction there, I think, was that was kind of telling. And then there's just like problems with the game too. They need to get out and say something. And I think it's just not good that it seems like they're waiting until just after DefenseCon has gotten done and good and done all its things that they're going to finally say, hey, things aren't going well. Because they still haven't given us that Tuesday patch they talked about. You guys remember they mentioned the Tuesday patch that would help to fix the ironclad, and they were hoping that they would get some more of their entitlement stuff figured out. We never got that patch. That did not happen. We got a hot fix. We got 3 hot fixes. But there was no ironclad fix patch that they said they were going to do. So I don't know what the overall goal is here other than just keep the sale going and act like things aren't really going that poorly for people. But even if I'm having a good time playing the game, you guys I'm sure are getting plenty of fun. There are people who are not having a great time, and it's all because of, I think, a patch that was pushed out too early for the sake of a sale. As much as the Odin is a cool ship as a thing that they've made, I think it's super, super tone deaf that it's coming out now. It's all part of the plan, so they couldn't really probably make that audible, but it's all coming very, very bad timing. Either way, it's a long extended look at the Odin. If you stuck around this long, thank you for doing so. Oh, we probably won't hear more about this ship in any big way for a while, so we'll see what comes of it when the rest of the community outside of Star Citizen starts to find out.